All right, let's dive into a field of forensic science that uses some of the absolute smallest clues you can imagine. We're talking stuff you can't even see to solve some of the world's biggest crimes. So welcome to the totally fascinating world of the forensic palynologist. But hey, before we get into all the nitty-gritty, just take a look at this. What pops into your head when you hear that term, forensic palynologist? Come on, just take a shot. Seriously, no wrong answers here. It's a pretty wild word, isn't it? You know, to really get what this is all about, we're not going to start with some dry textbook definition. Nope. Instead, let's solve a little mystery together. We'll call it the canine caper. Okay, so here's the scene. Picture this. This is your adorable little Yorkshire Terrier. You're doing everything right. Plenty of walks, the right food, but she's still packing on the pounds. You start to get a little suspicious. You think someone's sneaking her treats on the sly. Now, your Yorkie absolutely loves to nap in the lily garden, so that's where you start your investigation. You head out there, you're looking around, and what do you find? Some suspicious shoe prints that definitely aren't yours, a few bent and broken flowers, and the smoking gun. Or in this case, some unfinished meatballs. Oh yeah, you are definitely onto something now. So the trail leads you straight to your younger brother's closet. And bam, look at this. His shoes are caked in mud and, this is the key, they've got these telltale orange stains all over them. Lily pollen. The evidence is just undeniable. You found your culprit. Case closed. Now that little backyard detective work might seem pretty simple, right? But what you were actually doing was using a super sophisticated forensic technique. So let's break down what you just did. And here is the big reveal. Believe it or not, by connecting that lily pollen on your brother's shoes straight back to the crime scene in the garden, you were basically acting as a forensic palynologist. You used nature's tiniest clues to crack the case. So, what's the official definition? Well, forensic palynology is just the application of pollen and spores to help solve legal issues. And the really important thing to remember here is that it's not just for huge, dramatic criminal cases. It's about using these microscopic little bits of evidence in all kinds of investigations, both civil and criminal. The best way to think about pollen grains is like tiny, one-of-a-kind puzzle pieces. See, every single plant in every single region of the world has its own distinct pollen signature. It's kind of like a geographical fingerprint that can link a person to a place, a suspect to a crime scene, or even a victim to a suspect. Now, you'll hear the term cover both pollen and spores. So what's the difference? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just about how the plant uses them. Pollen is for sexual reproduction. Think flowers. Spores, on the other hand, are for asexual reproduction. You see that with things like ferns and fungi. But for a palynologist, both are absolute gold as far as clues go. So what does it actually take to do this job? Well, let's take a look at the palynologist's toolkit, because the scale of this challenge is, well, it's absolutely massive. Okay, get ready for this number. 380,000. That is roughly how many different types of pollen grains exist in the world. So it's not just about finding the pollen, it's about figuring out which one of these nearly 400,000 types you're actually looking at. It's pretty mind-boggling. And what's really amazing is that with all the technology we have today, the number one tool for identifying them is still the human eye and a really powerful microscope. Palynologists spend years, literally years, training their eyes to see all the tiny differences in size, shape, and texture. It is an incredible, super specialized skill. Okay, so where does this science actually make a difference out in the real world? Let's take a look at where investigators find this microscopic but incredibly powerful evidence. The short answer? Pretty much everywhere. Pollen is sticky, it's light, it gets on everything. Investigators can pull it from a suspect's clothes, from their shoes, from their hair. It can even be found inside a victim's nasal passages, which can actually help prove where they took their last breath. It's found on car tires, inside the air filters of a car. Really, any object at a crime scene is fair game. It's an amazingly versatile piece of trace evidence. So let's wrap this up by talking about this as a potential career, because given how powerful this science is, you might be shocked to learn just how in demand these experts really are. Check out this staggering fact. Right now, the FBI lab has a backlog of cases that need a pollenologist that's between 18 months and 2 years long. Just let that sink in. That means cases are just sitting there, potentially with crucial evidence waiting, just because there aren't enough experts to get to it all. And that massive backlog leads directly to this quote. Because new experts are so badly needed, the message is loud and clear. If you've got the skills and the passion for this kind of work, if you want it, you can probably get a job quick. It's a field where you can make a huge impact right away. So after seeing how these tiny little grains of pollen can solve mysteries both big and small, from a chubby Yorkie to a major FBI case, I'll leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about here, does forensic palynology sound like something you might want to do?